o'clock. Welcome to Lincoln Ware Live. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11. We've got an action-packed show today. We don't have a whole lot of time, so we'll get started real quick. Chatfield College, a college in Over the Rhine. Could you believe that? I didn't believe it until I heard it, and it's true. We'll tell you how you can get a degree right there in Over the Rhine in the Findlay Market area. If you're on moms, if you're a single mom on subsidies, hey, they'll help you out. Ex-offenders, all you need is a GED or a college diploma. You can enroll in Chatfield College and get a degree. We'll tell you how to do that coming up on this show today. Second half of the show, Christopher Smitherman, president of the NAACP, says he's going to run for city council. He's going to the national convention in Detroit. They'll be here next year. We're going to talk about that and more with NAACP President Chris Smitherman coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's talk about Chatfield College. Bob Peiffer and Sylvia Ware, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Now, tell us a little bit about Chatfield College. How did it end up in Over the Rhine?
Chatfield College dates to 1845 in Brown County, Ohio. And we've been in Cincinnati, in addition to Brown County, for the last couple of decades, actually. We're moving most recently from North Fairmount. One of our trustees, Emery Livers at Children's Hospital, suggested Over the Rhine, and we're going to be on the second floor of the Mercy at St. John facility there.
Now, okay, so you're in Over the Rhine. How are the residents there? What are they saying about this? A college in Over the Rhine, right there at Findlay Market. What are they saying?
The residents have responded well. A lot of us will walk around with our badges, or the students have their books, and everyone has made us very welcome. Mercy Franciscan has just been a great host for us, and we appreciate their help in getting us there.
Now, how do you get into Chatfield College? I know I saw even ex-offenders, or even if you're getting subsidies from the government or something, you can still get in there. How does that work?
Students need, or prospective students need to apply to Chatfield. They can do it online, or they can call us, and we have recruiters. Someone, Ali Sosa, will talk with them, work with them. Financial aid officer, Latoya Ventus, she will work with them. And the possibilities are unlimited. We often don't think that it can be done simply because of our hardships and right. Wherever we are in life at that moment. But it is a possibility for anyone with determination to get a degree.
Important to say, Lincoln, too, that we're an open enrollment institution. So as long as someone has a high school diploma or a GED or is willing to work toward the GED, we can
So you don't have to take an SAT, ACT, you don't have to take that to get in there?
That's correct.
Now, what if I go for maybe a year or so and I say, well, I want to go to UC. Can I use my credits from Chatfield at UC?
Yes, and we encourage transfer, actually. We're accredited by the North Central Association, the regional accrediting body for this part of the country. So our credits easily transfer to a UC, to a Xavier, to a Mount St. Joe. We're also a member of the Greater Cincinnati Consortium of Colleges and Universities. So even while a student at Chatfield, it would be possible for you to take some classes at the other Cincinnati area institutions.
Now, this sounds so easy. You probably have 50 students in one class to one teacher. What's the ratio?
Not true. We pride ourselves really on small classes. We keep the classes to 12 to 15 students. We like to think of ourselves as a school where your professor knows your name. Wouldn't you say, Sylvia?
Yes. When I came to Chatfield as a student, I came with a name. When I left Chatfield with my associate degree, I still had a name, no number. Only after I went to another school and enrolled to work towards the bachelor's degree did I become a number. Chatfield considers all their students family. We're all one big happy family, and we bind together in the good times as well as the bad, and we try to help the ones that are having a not too sunny day, and we just pull together, reaching for that ultimate goal.
All right, we'll come back and talk more about Chatfield College, and we'll give you a chance to chime in at 513-381-3838. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and hear what you have to say right here on Lincoln Ware Live. Don't forget, coming up later on in the show, NAACP President Chris Smitherman will be my guest. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Lincoln Ware Live. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. Before we go to the telephones, 513-381-3838. What about how much does it cost for tuition? I mean, that's probably a major issue. Can you get any type of federal funds to go to Chatfield?
Our students are eligible for the Ohio Instructional and the Pell Grants. Each one is depending on their financial situation. Our tuition is $295 per credit hour. We are on a semester program rather than the quarter program. And if you were to calculate it, we are compatible with most schools in this area as far as the tuition rate. We are probably a little bit under, actually. All students need to do in order to get information or register at Chatfield is to call 921-9856 and talk with Allie Sosa or anyone that the receptionist would refer them to. They would need their GED or high school diploma, and they could also go online to do the application, because if they go to www.chatfield.edu, they would be able to do the application simply online. However, they still would have to come in after that to talk with Allie and to go through the financial aid process.
Okay. Now, the classes start for the fall quarter in August?
August
So they need to
20th.
hurry up and get that taken care of, because that's only a month away.
That's correct.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to the telephones, find out
Okay.
what people are asking. Let's start off with Bernice. Bernice, good morning. You're on Lincoln Ware Live. How are you?
Yes, good morning to you and your guests from Chatfield College, Lincoln Ware. Okay, I would like to know what type of courses they offer at Chatfield College.
Good question. Thanks for your call. Hang up and listen.
Okay,
Thanks.
Thanks, Bernice. We offer primarily general education courses because what we're trying to do is prepare people to transfer to four-year schools. So a person would graduate from Chatfield, if he or she wanted to, with a liberal arts degree, an associate degree in general studies, essentially, and then continue on at a four-year school. In fact, one four-year school is resident with us in the Findlay Market location. That's Tiffin University, and Tiffin offers a baccalaureate degree completion program in business or in criminal justice.
Okay, all right. Let's go to Rhonda. Rhonda, good morning. You're on Lincoln Ware Live. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. Good morning to you and your guests.
Good morning.
I was interested in knowing a little bit about your, I know this is probably not their department, probably a human resource department, but how do you staff your college by it being in over the Rhine, a neighborhood that needs so much healing? Do you staff it through some of your students, or is it like higher within, or the receptionist maybe, which you have a new recruitment and everything like that, the filing department, things like that? Do you offer anything like that to the students or just to the community?
We involve our students in community service, so that's one place where they can begin to interface with organizations in the neighborhood. We do have federal work study positions for students on campus. Our faculty, we use some full-time faculty, but we mostly use adjunct faculty whom we hire from the community. In fact, we'll be having a hiring event July 20th to hire new adjuncts to teach at the Findlay Market campus.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, just a second, because I also heard you talk about ex-felons and things like that. I have a felony, and it's like 16 years old, and what I'm trying to do is just get back into the workforce and try to, get things started where you can move forward, and that's a community that really needs help with ex-felons and things like that, so we welcome you to the community.
Thank you. Thanks for your call. All right, give the phone numbers out once again. Everybody get your paper, get your pencil so you can write this number down, and the web address. Give the phone numbers out again.
It's 513-921-9856, and the website is www.chatfield.edu.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining me this morning. It's a great thing you're doing. Over the Rhine needs every bit of help they could get. And with the college there, I mean, hey, you can only expect great things to happen there. They got a lot of new apartments and condos going up in Over the Rhine. Finley Market is thriving. So this is a good deal for Over the Rhine and for the city.
It's an excellent opportunity for the students and for Chatfield.
Well, thank you both for joining me this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back to find out if Christopher Smitherman can serve two masters. That's what the Inquirer wanted to know, and we'll answer those questions for you coming up now. If you want to jump on board, 513-381-3838. We'll be back in a moment. All right. We're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. My second guest this morning, none other than Chris Smitherman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much,
How
Lincoln.
are you?
Glad to be here.
President of the NAACP. I think you've, doubled the numbers, tripled the numbers of members of the NAACP since you've taken over. And now you've announced that you're going to run for city council. And a lot of people think, well, maybe I don't think he can do both jobs. Maybe it'll be a conflict. How can he represent the NAACP and be on city council? How do you respond to people that say that?
Well, we have a gentleman by the name of Skip Alston, who is a member of the national board of the NAACP, who served as state president of North Carolina and county commissioner. And he served on the board and is still a board member of the national office. And we also have a gentleman by the name of Andre Knight in North Carolina, who is currently a city council member and the president of a branch in North Carolina. So the national office has not made any comment. This is all hay by local media, and I feel very confident that I'll get a lot of support in running for council.
And the Inquirer had the captain in there, you can't serve two masters. What do they mean by that? I mean, I guess you could. I mean, there's a lot of conflict of interest on city council now. You got Jeff Birding, who works for the Bengals and is a city councilman. You've got some lawyers there. Some of their clients have to deal with the city on certain issues and zoning and things like that.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be any different than what's going on right now.
And the NAACP, a lot of people don't understand, it's a non-paid position. So I'm not being compensated a penny as president of the NAACP. And anytime there would be a vote, which I can't even see one because the NAACP is about community-based, I don't see the conflict of interest. But if there were one, council members recuse themselves from votes every week from things that they view as conflicts of interest. So I don't think that's an issue.
And the NAACP National Convention going on right now in Detroit, and you're headed up there tonight or tomorrow.
Yes.
They're going to have a symbolic burial of the N-word. How do you feel about that? What do you think?
Well, I think that is symbolic, and I think it's really just sending a message out to the rest of the country that we need to reflect on the use of the word internally as a community. Clearly, our oppressors during that time created that word, and we have to psychologically move forward as a community. And I think that's more about what it is, and to spark these types of discussions about the inappropriateness of the word and us using it amongst ourselves.
Now, for the longest, you had some problems with the Cincinnati Police Department. It seems like Stryker was at the NAACP meeting last month. And he even joined the NAACP. So has this little rift between you and Stryker and the police department, are things getting better now or what?
Well, you know, Lincoln, I'm a financial planner, and I think my term on council, I focused a lot on money, just like I am on the referendum that I'm sure we're going to talk about this morning. But, you know, I'm conservative when it comes to financial resources. In the police department, it's 35% of the budget. We need to make sure that in all of our departments that we're using our resources properly. So, but he did come, the chief did come to the NAACP meeting. I thought it was very productive. We had about 200 members present at our meeting, and there was a nice engagement around the issue. And I think that that's what's going to foster good community relations.
Is Cincinnati ready for the national convention next year? I mean, this is something like Cincinnati has never seen before. This is huge, the presidential election year. This is big for Cincinnati. Are we ready? Can we roll out the red carpet? Can we show hospitality here? We have a hard time doing that here in Cincinnati, showing hospitality to outside groups. Can we pull this thing off?
We definitely can pull it off. And to the citizens listening, this is really the big stage for Cincinnati and a tremendous opportunity. We will be the center of the universe for that week because of the presidential races and the debates. One of the things that I'm really focusing, State Representative Tyrone Yates is our blue ribbon committee, and I've appointed him in that position. What we're really focusing on is how do we get our local talent? How do we get our local businesses engaged in that national convention so that they benefit financially? We're very excited about that in July of 2008. And right now in 2007, really, Cincinnati will be the center as we move through the convention because everyone will begin to talk about 2008 by the time we get to Thursday of this week coming up.
Yeah, that's right. Now, the knock against you would be that, well, the NAACP is not going to be able to raise enough money to bring the convention here. No one's going to contribute because of Chris Smitherman as the president. They'll donate if Peter Thrower's in there, but not with Chris Smitherman. How has that gone?
We have, I can say that we have successfully raised the $200,000 plus. We've delivered it to the national office this week. They have received and cashed the check. We had no problems raising the money. The magnitude of the national convention coming to downtown is bigger than Christopher Smitherman. It's bigger than Lincoln Ware. It is really a team effort for the city of Cincinnati. The Conventions Bureau has done a fantastic job. Dan Lincoln and Jason Dunn have just done a wonderful job of their recruitment. I want to thank our former president, Edith Thrower, for her work around the convention. So there were a lot of players that really worked to bring this convention to the city. My job right now is to make sure that we raise the money and bring the right team together, as you stated, to really host a first-class convention here downtown.
Before we go to the telephones, 513-381-3838, that's the number if you want to talk to Chris Smitherman. The issue of you running with the Green Party, is that, do you think a member of the Green Party can actually get elected to Cincinnati City Council? I mean, you were a charter right the last time out.
Yes.
And if you're not a Democrat, Republican, or a charter right, can you actually get on city council in this town?
Well, the answer is yes. I thought about running as an independent, but if you remember the race that Pastor Damon Lynch ran, he only lost by 700 votes when he ran as an independent. So I think there's a lot of excitement out there about my candidacy again for council, and that people are going to take a good look at me as I run. Again, the Green Party is very progressive, and the difference between charter and the Green Party, Lincoln, is that I can run for state rep, I can run for governor, I can run for president of the United States from the Green Party because it is a national party, where charter is a local party to Cincinnati. So the Green Party really gives me an outlet to really run for much broader positions than city council.
All right, every line is busy, so we'll get busy. Everybody wants to talk to Chris Smitherman, president of the NAACP. Let's start off with Chanel. Chanel, good morning, how are you?
Oh, good morning, Lincoln, and good morning, Brother Chris Smitherman.
Good morning, Chanel.
Yes, I was there. I'm glad to see that you went with the Green Party because I was there the night we were deciding whether or not, you should be.
Yes.
Go with them. But first of all, congratulations on tripling the membership.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that.
I'm so proud of you, and I look forward to the membership quadrupling because I am getting ready to get out there full force for you.
Thank you so very much.
All right.
Hello.
Did you have another question?
Yes. Please don't cut me off. I read in the paper where the NAACP, this is in the Cincinnati Herald, what they did, they cut out the black authors for the convention. Is this in Detroit this year?
Yes. The convention for 2007 right now really kicks off in earnest tomorrow morning. And I'm not familiar at all with who the coordinators are with that convention. What I can share with you is that when the convention comes here in 2008, we are going to really put our foot forward to try to have our local talent, our small businesses really benefit from that infusion of money.
Well, that's good, because they were saying that some of the black vendors could not afford a booth. They were going for $800, and at that rate, they just could not afford to come here and make money, some of the black authors.
Well, I can just say that we will really put trust me, we're putting a very serious effort in throwing the net out very, very broadly. And I think the only way, if we don't do that, Lincoln, at the end of the day, the convention won't be successful. You know, we don't want the national news to come in and really not give the opportunity for our local talent to really show their face on the national. This is what we have to offer the rest of the world, and I don't want to miss that opportunity.
All right, before we go to our next caller, the question on the petitions for the jail tax.
Yes.
The NAACP very much involved in that. How's it going?
It is going great. You know, the membership, the executive committee, Lincoln, we delivered 12,000 signatures. So out of those 34,000 signatures, the NAACP membership delivered 12,000 of those. Matter of fact, today our office is going to open at 2 o'clock, and we're asking people to bring back the petitions that they have to the office today. We are aggressively collecting. We collected more signatures on Friday, more on Saturday. The NAACP's goal is 15,000 signatures. So that's our target. We plan on filing those petitions as a collective group on Friday and at the auditor's office, and we feel very comfortable right now that we have the signatures to place this issue on the ballot. And for people who don't or have not been following this issue, the citizens voted this issue down November of 2006. May 30th of 2007, Commissioner Pertune and Commissioner Peiffer raised the sales tax to 7%, even though it was voted down November of 2006. The NAACP hired a lawyer, created a referendum, and created partnerships with a variety of groups who had interest in having this go before the electorate. So this isn't about whether we support the jail, pro it, or con it. What we're saying is we have the right to vote on a $1 billion transaction.
Okay, so what happens if they vote it down again? Can't they still put the tax on?
I think that would be political suicide for the county commissioners. I think Bettinghouse learned his lesson surrounding this similar issue, which is on the backdrop of Commissioner Todd Pertune even being elected to the county. So I think that the elected officials would think very, very hard about coming back and raising that
after it's voted down twice.
After it's voted down twice, Lincoln. I don't think a politician would do that.
All right, we'll see about that. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with more of Christopher Smitherman, president of the NAACP. We'll take a break. We'll come right back to Lincoln Ware Live right here on It's 38. Back to the moment. And we're back live, Lincoln Ware Live right here. Chris Smitherman, president of the NAACP. We're answering your questions, 513-381-3838. Let's get back to the telephones real quick. Renee, good morning. How are you?
How are you? How are both of you?
Just fine.
Doing just fine, Renee.
I'm okay. I want to say that whatever party that you ran for, I will vote for you like I have voted for you in the past. And I would also like to say that
Thank you, Renee.
that you have a lot of biased people in the city, and you scare them because you tell the truth, and people don't like the truth. The way that they talk about you in the paper, I think they have an article in the CDB. What's the problem with you running for city council? I don't see it, but they don't want you to run for city council because you scare them. You bring things out that they've been trying to keep in the closet for years and years. You find money that nobody finds. You get in the police butt. And I can't believe that it's such a problem with the media. It's more the media than the people that you're running for city council.
All right, so you're
He should have
saying,
never left.
you're saying it's not a media problem. I mean, it's not a people problem. It's a media problem.
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. Thanks for your call.
Lincoln, may I say something about Judge Jones's comments in the paper?
Yes.
A lot of people don't understand that Judge Jones, who I tremendously respect, and he was the legal counsel for the national office for about a decade. But a point that I want to raise is that he is the chair of the jail initiative. So he is chairing the initiative that the NAACP has a referendum out against. So just note that as comments are coming in from the judge around this particular issue, that he was assigned that position by David Peiffer and Todd Pertune. And I would suspect that once we have it on the ballot, you will see him on commercials communicating and advocating for people to vote for the jail.
Now, what about the Spencers? Marion Spencer and her husband, they were allies of yours at one point. Are they still, is there a rift between you two or what?
Lincoln, there really is no rift between Dr. Donald Spencer and Dr. Marion Spencer, and I spoke to them in great detail around this issue. One of the things that I hope that we always can do as a community is disagree around public policy, but still have relationships.
Right.
And I'm saying this is an area that I even need to work on in my own life. But we want to be able to disagree about an issue and then continue to move on with the relationship. So there are no problems between the Spencers and myself. But just to note that Judge Jones is leading as chairman of the jail initiative that we see before us now.
So when you hear comments from him, you just know how to weigh him.
Correct.
Okay, let's go to Pat. Pat, good morning. How are you? Pat. Hey, Pat. Pat's watching
Good morning. How you doing?
Pat, turn your TV down. There's a delay there.
Hello?
It'll confuse you.
Yes.
Turn your TV down. How you doing?
Okay, congratulations, Smitherman.
Hi, thanks, Pat.
Okay, I just want to make a comment. I've been to a lot of seminars and classics and so forth. And one thing that I am worried about here in Cincinnati is the vendors and the food courts, the shopping downtown for all of these people that's coming into the city.
Yes.
Do they have any plans for feeding the people, and where are they going to shop? I mean, there's nowhere to shop for women, and there's nowhere to go eat except over at the levee.
Hey, they got a TJ Maxx downtown. That's good enough.
Oh, no, we can't do that. Have you been to the Indianapolis Classic?
No, I haven't. I haven't been there. But what I'll share this with you is that there's going to be a lot of beefing up, because it's not just the NAACP National Convention, but it's also the Baptist Convention that's going to follow within a week or two of the National Convention. Yeah. So people are really going to be honed in on what businesses are down there. And we're really talking to the hotels about making sure that African-American vendors can have their food in the hotels and break all of the policies that they have. I'm talking about whatever we're selling, we want to make sure that the hotels have an opportunity to carry that for our dinners. So the National Convention, they're pressing us. It's a natural issue for us to press. And State Representative Yates has been doing a wonderful job in his negotiations. He's a real statesman, and that's why I appointed him to that position. I think he has the seniority and the credibility to bring it together.
All right, Pat. Are you a vendor, Pat?
No, I'm not a vendor, but my son is, and he's had a lot of trouble with that. I know the fee is high to be a vendor and represent the city, so that's something that has to be dealt with. But I wonder, where are the vendors going to be? And last time he was vending at the Jazz Festival, he was harassed by the policemen. Are they going to have those policemen walking around on riding horses and harassing people?
Well, of course, he needs a vendor's license if he's going to set up shop on the street.
He has a vendor's license.
Right. So let's assume, Pat, that is it her son or grandson?
Her stepson.
Her stepson.
Like. Yes.
Let's assume that he goes through all of the proper channels, and you want to make sure that he is prepared for 2008. But you want to reach out to State Representative Yates, to our office, and this is for all vendors. Give us about 1 week after the close of the convention, because 1 week after the close of the convention, we will begin working on the 2008 convention. So vendors should begin those conversations about where they want to be, where do they want to be involved so that we can connect them to the right people. A lot of times, Lincoln, our issues are lack of preparation, and we want to make sure that we're prepared for the 2008 convention within 1 year.
And so you need to start a week after.
That's right.
Okay, well, I just have one suggestion, then I'm leaving.
Quickly.
I suggest that they get in contact with, preparation with Metro, and have some buses running periodically to Kenwood, to Forest Park, and so forth. These women want to shop.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for your call.
Like, for example, there was if I have his card, and I know he'll love this, but you know, I was talking to a vendor about, you know, car service.
Yes.
As an example, you know, and here it is, executive car, corporation sedan airport. This is an African-American vendor, 351-7688. I've used them before. And I've already reached out to him to say, how do we involve you in the convention? Because a lot of people are going to want to get around from A to B. And we want to make sure that we're connecting people early, a year in advance.
If they want to go to a soul food restaurant and they want to get to the Dukester or somewhere, they got to go out the Rose line.
Absolutely.
How do they get there?
Absolutely.
You know, so.
And we want to make sure that the Dukester benefits from the NAACP National Convention and all of those restaurants that are out there.
Okay, let's move.
There's one restaurant right next to the Dukester. Help me out.
Carlisle.
So we'll make sure that they also benefit.
All right, let's go to Queen. Queen, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen, Lincoln and Mr. President. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Listen, I'm glad that you are running. I am a fan of yours, regardless of what you do. You're like Dr. Odell Owens to me. You get in there, you do it, and you do a darn good job at what you do, no matter what you do. You're an all-around man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very, very much.
I just wanted to let you know that.
You sure your name is not Mrs. Smitherman? No, just kidding.
No interest that way.
Thanks for your call.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Lincoln, our membership, the number that we're using, let's say it was 800 when we started, and we're still auditing our membership. We clearly have brought in 400 new members in 90 days, and the membership continues to spike. So I'm using 50% off a base of 800, and I was conservative because our base might have been 700.
Okay.
We've got it down to about 100 to 150 people, but we had over 200 deceased people on the roll.
On the roll.
So
Wow.
we've been pulling those out and just trying to clean up our list and get things tight.
All right, let's take a quick break and we'll come back with more with Chris Smitherman. 513-381-3838. That's the number. If you want to jump on board, if you got a question to ask before he heads off to Detroit for the National Convention. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back, Lincoln Ware with you. Chris Smitherman, my guest this morning on It's 38. We're taking your phone calls. Everybody's got questions to ask Chris Smitherman. We'll try to get in as many calls as we can before the top of the hour. Dorothy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good.
Good. What's on your mind?
I wanted to say a couple of things to Brother Christopher.
Good morning, Dorothy.
I want to say, brother, if, just say if, all the signatures that you have, just like the people voted on it before and they didn't pass it, they didn't want to pass it, so they came up with their own agenda. Supposing that happens again, then where do we stand?
Well, I think we're going to be very hopeful, Dorothy, that we're going to capture the 28,800 signatures. But what is happening right now, Dorothy, is the county commissioners, Commissioner Platoon and Commissioner Peiffer, are posturing that after the Board of Elections says that we have the 28,800 signatures, that they're going to begin to attack the petition and attack the individual signatures that the Board of Elections has said are good signatures, which is going to be very, very interesting to see our pastors, myself, our members of our communities, their signatures being attacked and thrown out by Democratic leadership.
Oh boy!
So this is when we submit the petitions, Sister Dorothy. The struggle is just beginning. If Commissioner Platoon and Commissioner Peiffer decide that they're going to continue to move forward and try to disenfranchise voters by attacking those petitions.
Okay, well, I just wanted to ask because, like I said, I voted for it, and when they decided that they wouldn't respect the voters and they went on and wanted to do their own thing, then I questioned what would happen. I also wanted to give you just a little advice, and out of love, out of respect, because, you know, whenever we have a leader like you that stands up against the wicked of the world, I mean of this city, then you're going to encounter a lot of problems. I'm saying stay on your prayers. I'm going to be there, like I said, to help you. I pray for you. That's the only thing that we can really do today. And I wish you success in whatever you do, and keep a clean record, because they always watch and they always try to entrap.
Okay, Dorothy.
I appreciate that, Sister Dorothy. That means that
her speech is as long as Farrakhan's.
That means that that's why I have that card in there. If my wife and I go out and I have a glass of wine, I have a driver.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very, very, very conscious about trying to make good decisions out there.
Yeah, they're watching. Let's go to Bob. Hey, Bob, how you doing?
I'm fine. Doing real good. This question is really not pertaining to what we're talking about in as much as with the petition. I did sign a petition, you know, to vote.
To vote on the jail?
Are you there?
Yes.
What I wanted to ask Mr. Lindemann, is that how you pronounce his name?
Smitherman.
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 What is it?
With an S. Smitherman.
Smitherman. Okay. I probably didn't pronounce it right.
That's okay. That's
but
okay.
Anyway, it's pertaining to the NAACP, where they're always for the little guy, you know, to protect him and everything. And what I want to know is, how come they have a stance that abortion's okay when it's the most weak link in our society? And I'll wait for your answer. Thank you.
Thanks for your call.
I'm not sure of the national office's position on abortion. I don't know of a stance that they have, as was just described. And I know that our local branch has not taken a position on abortion. So.
And I would say, Bob, if they're an organization for the people, they want the people to be able to choose which direction they want to take in life. So, you know, they would probably be for that reason, right. You know, pro-choice.
And maybe that's something the membership will decide to take up in the latter part of the year, but it's not an issue that's come before us.
All right, let's go to Lawrence. Lawrence, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yes.
What's your question?
My question is that you hear a lot of times that there are people who are saying that you should vote for as least members of council as possible during the elections. I just wanted to get Christopher's thoughts on that, and yours as well, Lincoln.
Okay. Well, thanks, Lawrence. I think I know who Lawrence is. LG, thanks for your call.
Well, you know, I'm a big supporter of proportional representation, which is where Ted Berry was elected, which is a weighted way of voting, and I'm sure you're very familiar with that, Lincoln. In a 9X system, you still can exercise proportional representation. You can go in and instead of ranking, you could say, these are my top 3 choices. I'm going to vote for these 3 people in a 9X system in order to try to increase the probability of them being elected. That's basically what power voting is. And there's a movement inside of the Democratic Party, and it's always been that, where people come out and say, make me one of your 9 votes. Or you can vote, they don't say you can vote up to 9.
Right,
it says make me one of your 9. Yeah. And what we've been doing is really trying to educate the community that they don't have to vote for 9 people for council.
But you've been saying vote for just 1.
No, I haven't been saying that. Okay. What I'm saying is that if a person goes in, Lincoln, and they don't know, you know, like they go in and they say, I know about Damon Lynch. I know about Christopher Smitherman, and they're comfortable casting those 2 votes. They could do that. They don't have to then look at the other 30 candidates and say, I'm going to fill out those other 7 just because to make my ballot a good ballot.
Well, and that could work, but it's very dangerous doing that also. When you narrow it down to maybe 1 or 2 or even 3, there's a possibility you could end up with none of the people you want on council, maybe even no African Americans at all on council. It's very dangerous.
You know what's interesting about that, 2 points, is that the Republican Party has been power voting forever. That's why they keep 2 seats. The Republican Party doesn't. See, Lincoln's laughing because he knows I know that. I mean, we don't keep 2 seats because they vote for 2 people and walk out of there. That's why there are always 2 Republican seats in a Democratic city. So the opportunity of just educating the options, I don't want voters to believe that they have to vote for 9 people. And I think that that's very unfair and disingenuous by the Democratic Party to put that out in our community, that they have to vote for 9 people or make me one of your 9. Those are very dangerous messages. So I'm very much a proponent in what's called undervoting or power voting in the process, voting for 1 or 2 or 3 people and walking out of there. And right now, Lincoln, I'll share with you, I don't think we have a voice on council out of 9 right now.
Wow.
So I'm saying when you
don't think Cecil Thomas or Lakita Cole or voices?
I'll give you a 1 on Council Member Lakita Cole. And I think that when we lost Councilwoman Alicia Reese, who was a very vocal person on council, that you see that change right now on council, which was very supportive. Cole is out there by herself. She really doesn't have a lot of support, and the community should understand that. So we have to come in and provide support for Council Member Cole so she can continue to do her work.
But even if you get on council, you're going to have to align yourself with people you might not even like, but to get anything done, you're going to have to form some type of coalition.
And let me change that comment and say that I think that Lakita Cole is our strongest bet right now on council. But out of the other 8 members of council, I mean, Council Member Cecil Thomas came in with the marijuana legislation, which has been devastating to the African American community, in my opinion, as far as public policy. So we don't really have a voice. So the answer to your question is, how do we get a voice on council? How do we strengthen that? And when you have 1 or 2 people, I'm a good negotiator. So when votes come before the body, sometimes they need that 1 vote to count to 5. And when they do, we then broker a deal on other issues.
Well, I feel safe with 5. I will feel safe with 5, not 9. I don't think you need to vote for 9, but 5 is a good number. I think a safe number to go with.
Well, look, see, this is beautiful because we just took a step closer. I mean, if everybody's listening to this, that you didn't say 9, and so you said 5, so that's still an agreement that undervoting is more powerful than filling up your whole slate of 9.
So the glass is half full.
And we're getting closer.
Okay, all right.
I might move to 5 with you.
Okay, LG, I hope you heard that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Oh, before we go to the next call, I want to ask you one question. Okay, so if the jail, do you think we need a jail? What do we do? Since you want to vote on it and you're hoping people vote it down, do we need a jail? If so, how do we get it built?
Well, let me share, because I'm the spokesperson for the NAACP. I'm stating this, and the organization and the membership drive that. We haven't voted on whether we support the jail or this initiative. We'll deal with that once it gets on the ballot. But to that point, Queensgate has not failed the state's requirements. Simon Lease has been saying that he desires that without telling all of the factual pieces behind that. The jails have not been failing the state approval. Once we get the issue on the ballot, I will say I'll come back, Lincoln. We can have Commissioner Portune here, Commissioner Peiffer, myself, or anyone else, and we can have a thoughtful discussion around the jail.
Yeah, I'd love to get the 3 of you in here together.
I commit that I'll come back for that discussion. But what I'll say is this is a vote about democracy. Do we have the right to vote on a sales tax, which is regressive, a $1 billion jail? Should we have that right to vote yes on that or no? And once it gets on the ballot, we all can discuss it and debate it.
Yeah, that will be a good debate.
That's going to be a big debate, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Let's go to, I think it's Marie on 3. Marie, how are you?
Good morning, Lincoln. Good morning, Mr. Smitherman.
Hi,
Speak up a little if you can.
How are you, Marie?
Yes, sir. I had a question about, I would not have a problem with the half-cent sales tax. I totally despise the way they overrode the vote of the people to say they're going to do it anyway. But if this gets on the ballot and is voted down, are they going to come back on the homeowners?
Yeah, and see, that's what scares me. I'd rather for everybody to pay for it with a sales tax than for them to throw it back on the homeowners with the property tax. And I believe that might happen, Marie. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, one of the things, Marie, is that when we look at Paul Brown Stadium, and this is not tangential, there were almost $50 million in overruns on that project. So what we have to do is raise the accountability bar for our elected officials that they're managing the resources that they currently have well. So they keep selling that they don't have the money, but then we see these overruns with these stadiums, and they've had to refinance that debt. I think it's $44 million that they had to finance. To answer your question regarding what are we going to do, Mary, you and I agree that we have the right to vote on it, to say yes or no, and the issue might pass. You know, once this gets on the ballot, voters might come back and actually pass it. But we keep getting out there in the street, Mary, that people feel very strongly that taxation without representation is wrong, and that they really want to have an opportunity to say yes or no. I spoke to a woman in the Biggs parking lot, African-American woman. She says, you know what, just like Mary, she says, I'm going to support this once it gets on the ballot, but I don't want Commissioner Pertune and Commissioner Pepper shoving it down my throat.
Yep,
That's what she told me.
All right, Chris Smitherman, we're going to have you back again. Promise me you'll come back.
I promise. I'll come back.
All right.
Yeah,
and give us a full report after this. We see if this issue gets on the ballot.
Yes.
We'll try to get Portune and Pepper in here to hear what they have to say and get you in here.
I will definitely
go
come. And Lincoln, please ask, I'm asking everybody out there, if you come across somebody in the next 5 days with a petition, please sign the petition. It is about democracy, not about the jail, and that the NAACP office will be open today from 2 until 4:30 to collect petitions or for people to come by the office and sign. And the number is 281-1900, 4439 Reading Road. Thank you.
Chris Smitherman, president of the NAACP, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you, Lincoln.
We'll take a quick break and come back with the talk of the town as we wrap up on Lincoln Ware Live. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're back live, Lincoln Ware Live. Coming up at noon today on It's 38, Journey from the Heart starring Tsai Chin and a whole lot of other Chinese actors that I won't even begin to pronounce their names, but that's at noon today right here on It's 38. A rebroadcast of this show tonight at 8 o'clock on WOTH Channel 25. That's at 8 o'clock tonight. And following the rebroadcast of this show, Magic Rock with Miko Hughes. That's tonight at 9, following the rebroadcast of this show on WOTH Channel 25. Don't forget, check me out Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 on 1230, The Buzz of Cincinnati. The Lincoln Ware Walking Club, walking at Daly Road and North Bend Road, McAvoy Park, Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. So come on out and walk with us. Walk with the Lincoln Ware Walking Club. I'll see you next Sunday morning, 10 o'clock.